right, everyone. Welcome today. I have the honor of interviewing someone very special, Johannes Vislinger. Welcome, and I know Johannes for many years through our work. We both have started programs to help people learn how to coach health and wellness, which is pretty amazing. But Johannes took his adventures a little further, and he really became an academic institution for higher learning, which I really admire his work and I really support it. And actually, I'm excited to one day join his officiates of PhD people. But I want to just for the audience, maybe share a little bit about your background and how you had this vision over 12 years ago to found this university, an academic university of such a high, I would say, standing in a new way, the new way of thinking.
Well, first of all, thanks for the invite, and it's really a pleasure being here. And thanks for working many years with you. It's been wonderful, and we have a similar path, similar mission and vision. Now, in terms of my journey, again, like I said earlier to you, like, oh my God, time's flying. Right about 40 years ago, that's when I started to be in this field. And first, personally, because I had some health issues like eyes, digestion, and other things, and I always thought to myself that that's impossible. I mean, I was like 20 or something, right? 20 something. And then that just doesn't make sense. And I was very interested in spirituality and Eastern philosophies and also healthy living. And then I just, from that point on, I've been exploring. I mean, what works? And from starting from nutrition to physical therapy and also developed biofeedback technology, worked with energy medicine, aura, energy chakras, and all these things. And the interesting part is, the more I learned about myself and my own health issues, and poop, some of them just disappeared. It was like, oh my God. One was, for example, I had such tremendous back pain, right? Which was really bad. And I did yoga and all the things we know that work, but it always came back, right? And then the realization, what is actually this root cause, right? What triggers me, my body to go back into this stressful state, and then which shows up as major lower back pain. And the moment I realized that, within a week, symptoms disappeared and never came back, right? And so that to me was like, oh my God, everybody needs to know this. And at that time, I was shifting to health coaching because we're going to talk about that, how healthcare even then was really bad
Yeah.
in terms of just trying to fix things, what I call the wait until it's too late model. And then we fix it with emergency medicine, right? And the sad part, it's not better now. It's actually getting really worse, which is really shocking to me. Also talking to our lifestyle medicine summit, the leaders in the lifestyle medicine field, and they say the same thing. It's amazing that, we had this vision for so many years, and there's this counter movement that not necessarily makes it easier for everyone to have access to this lifestyle medicine and health coaching model. And that's actually the mission of Lifestyle Prescriptions University. Very simple: lifestyle medicine and health coaching for everyone. Because
Beautiful.
that is what the reality is. If we understand these simple principles, how to live, to shift our habits, our life is going to be so much better. And so we've been teaching health coaching, different forms of health coaching for like 15, 20 years at least. And then I thought, okay, this is not enough. We need more research. We need really higher level, higher education in this field, which is like when we started 10 years ago. This year is our 10th anniversary, which is like, oh my God, it's
Fantastic.
amazing. And we
Wow.
have actually a lot of events happening this year.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And
Wow.
so we decided, okay, um, is it possible to build a university that teaches masters, bachelor, masters, and PhD programs, right? Because there's so much to learn. And the whole idea that we take one course, another course, another course, I think it does not make sense anymore in our field, right?
Mm.
We've done this so many times. I know a friend of mine, she did 50 to 70 courses, but then at the end, no PhD or no master's degree, which is still valuable, right? Very, very valuable. Um, and and so we decided to do that. Wasn't an easy journey. And like often, I have this when I have an idea or something, I want to do something that is really transformational from my perspective, and nobody has done that yet. That's typically what I go for. Then afterwards, I say, if I would have known how much work it is, I might not have done it, but I'm so happy I did
Hmm.
because it makes you a better person. You learn so much in this process, and you help so many others to really build this field up that we call lifestyle medicine and health coaching. So glad we have our 10th anniversary, and we did great in terms of so much interest, like not just learn the skills, lifestyle medicine skills, health coaching skills, but also to have the credentials to move up in the ladder, so to speak, become a leader in the field. And that is something we really all about, like you and your team. And we all need to step up our game, right?
Well, I always
We need to
say the
lead
more the
lead this
merrier, right,
movement.
Johannes? Yeah, the more people we have in this field leading like that,
Absolutely.
the stronger we'll get throughout the world. Now, thank you so much for sharing all that because I think it's so important, your work. Obviously, I'm a firm believer as I'm a mirror of your work in another way. But the lifestyle medicine works that you wrote a book. And I just want you to tell a little bit about your work, and particularly in light of what your mission, why you wrote the book.
Well, let's maybe start with the big picture. And it's maybe a question to everybody and that is listening, but it's an easy audience in a way because most of your audience is in this field already, health, wellness, well-being, longevity. So you guys know that the way healthcare is set up right now, major, major problem, right? And it's not getting better, and that's a sad part. We see this that the pharmaceutical, the emergency medicine, we need that, right? I'm not against that. I think nobody in lifestyle medicine is against
Nobody's
it
against it.
because you know if we, let's say, we have an accident, we should be lucky that we have these amazing technologies, right? But it's meant for emergency medicine. And maybe is it okay to share a slide quickly or?
Sure, absolutely. I'm sure you were relaying to the fact that you are a soul going through life and you have emotions and everything affects the physical, right? So as you were talking about.
Exactly. And I could talk more about that because I think that's very unique to what we do, go really deep into how our body works. And I maybe share a couple points only because I know we don't have that much time, but I think from a big picture, all of us, anyone that is out there listening, and please share this, that there's a very clear model that we have options. Maybe 10, 20, 30 years ago, it was like, you have a symptom, you get a certain treatment, you have a mostly medication, and that was it. That's what we knew. But that time is over, right? So there are a couple ways how we can deal with health issues. So back pain, diabetes, or being overweight, or want to lose weight, or whatever health issue we have. We can do a couple things. First, we do nothing. We call this observe and monitor, right?
Yeah.
Which really, please, everybody, that's the worst because that many of us do. We think, oh, I think it's going to get better. That is the worst option. The second one, which all of us know, is manage chronic disease, right? We all know that. It's this wait until it's too late model. And, then we try, hurry, hurry up, something quick. We have to do something, right? It's this emergency medicine. Partly good, but it should be not the first step. The first step, if we know, and the science is absolute 100% clear, right? There's no talk about, no question about that anymore, that our lifestyle habits are the ones that have a tremendous effect on our health and the development of disease. And that's what we call evidence-based lifestyle medicine. And the evidence-based is really important because a lot of, if you're on social media if you are even in healthcare professionals, often it's not really evidence-based, right? There's a new diet is being sold and so on. We overwhelm with information. So the nice thing about lifestyle medicine is it's very clear, it's academic, it's based on thousands and thousands of evidence and research, and that is what we focus on. And like the Dean Ornishes, the David Cutts, and many of the speakers that we have at our Lifestyle Medicine Summit that is every October, they make it very, very clear. The vast majority of our chronic health issues, not acute, right? Chronic health issues, the vast majority can be reversed by shifting, changing our lifestyle habits. And health coaching obviously is based in large part on that. But lifestyle medicine is the academic or clinical side of it, and more doctors start to integrate it. And that is really our mission. We believe that without healthcare professionals being trained in lifestyle medicine, it's very difficult to shift our healthcare systems to something that is not just emergency and manage chronic disease related. We cannot afford it. It's very clear. No country. Maybe Netherlands is different, but I
No,
know in Germany these days it's crazy. In
no,
UK,
because Johannes, the Netherlands has as high a cancer rate as the United States. It
and
has
we
a
can afford it.
terrible
It's
cancer.
like financially speaking, right? They're cutting and cutting and
Yeah.
cutting. So now, my first call to action for everyone, please speak up. As a patient, whenever you go to a doctor, and please, number one, really think about this. The only thing you need to say, do you offer lifestyle medicine for me? And that is actually what lifestyle prescription is all about. That's what we called it because, I'm sure everybody has that. You have this idea, some like I was in the shower or whatever, and it's, why is nobody writing lifestyle prescriptions? Every doctor writes RX medicine prescriptions. But why not lifestyle? That was 10, 12 years ago, right? And so that's why we call it Lifestyle Prescription University, because that I think is one of the solutions. If every doctor, like you go to a doctor and he says, well,
Yeah.
we can manage the symptoms, right? Plus some pros and cons,
Yeah.
but there's an option for you, which is evidence-based lifestyle medicine. The con is the difficult part is it's not just take a pill and it's supposed to be miraculously okay and disappear, right? Which is never true. We know that. But so it takes some effort on your side. But that's where health coaches and lifestyle medicine practitioners come in. Somebody that can help you actually make these lifestyle changes. And in lifestyle medicine specifically, there are 6/7 pillars. We added one, which is, I think, most of us know, have heard about. But the big question is, did we actually implement it? Did we practice it? Are we doing it like Nike? Just do it, right? Instead of reading books and thinking about it, and all that. That is the problem. So, very simple, avoiding risky substances, which can be many things from drugs to smoking to alcohol to chemicals in our food, in the air, right? A lot of toxicity all over the place. So, we have to be very careful about that. Get rid of it as much as possible. Nutrition, improve our nutrition towards more healthy, real, whole food type of nutrition, right? Makes a huge difference. Stress management in these days is big, right? And that's something at Lifestyle Prescription University we dive very deeply into because we found that to be probably one of the most important parameters or pillars. Fitness, exercise, we know that, but
Mhm.
actually, do we do it? Meaning, do we exercise enough? Especially, the older we get, exercise becomes more and more and more important. Sleep. And by the way, these are all extensively researched. We know exactly what works and what doesn't. So sleep, healthy sleep, like not like having
Yeah.
smartphone, TikToking or Instagramming like just before we go to sleep, right? Watching blue screen videos or whatever. The sixth one is love and support. It's this connection with our environment, with our families, with somebody that we connect with, if it's a more internal spiritual or in terms of an environment. People, right? Very, very important. Extensive research. And one of the things that we added as the seventh is actually mindset.
Yeah.
And I think all of the health coaches know that a lot,
Yeah.
right? That's probably the most core, the deepest level. Because if I believe, for example, ah, it's not going to work for me anyway, right? Or um, I don't have time for this, right? Like the health and getting better is a very low value, has low priority. We're not going to do it. It's almost like it's a waste of time, right? For the patient and us, because we have to make sure somebody really wants to sees the benefits. Why are you actually want to be healthier? Are you okay with having back pain like crazy, or or gaining a lot of weight and have no energy? These things, once we understand and know and feel that there's a way, first of all, out of this, but it also I need to want it and I need to have
Yes.
this growth kind of mindset, which
So,
obviously is a big one in health
yeah.
coaching.
Johannes, can you come back now? Because I have some other, I love what you shared. Of course, most of our people are very on the same page with you. They
Mm.
agree. But I want to go forward now and I want to ask you a little bit because you're kind of leading the industry. I want to talk about, because I totally think we're what you're getting at here is that people have to take their own responsibility for their lifestyle habits. And when they do that, the world will just become a much healthier place. Easier said than done, and that we can't get into today all the reasons, but they are a lot to do with mindset and programming. But I'm curious about this latest development of the 8 years or 10 years where we have seen AI come on the picture, because you looking at the picture and myself, we know this is really going to change our reality, and it already has, but it's going to majorly change our reality. How do you see AI helping the medical transition that you're talking about? And also, what do we have to look at as a possible, like, whoa, where are we going here?
Do you want the easy and quick answer, or
I
or
just
the
want
real,
your
the
heart.
truth,
I
the
want you to
truth?
go. I want your truth, of course. And I want your heart in this. Yes.
Well, first of all, it's gonna be so transformational that most people don't realize yet, right? Now, in healthcare, let me start big picture.
Yeah.
The biggest danger is where healthcare is going, that it's gonna be used like most of the other things that like internet, uh, it's gonna be used not for good purposes because that's where the money is, right? And you can see this already in some of the AI platforms that are out there. They're sponsored by players that want control. They wanna manipulate the messaging, right? The news, the information. This whole idea that the internet is free or it is like about
Yeah.
speaking like our own truth and be
Yes.
open and all that. It's just manipulated like crazy. And with AI, it's gonna be even more like also manipulation in terms of digital control and all that. That's gonna come. So we have to be really careful about that. So that's the danger, especially the big players. If you just read a little bit about it, to
So,
them they want to
an
grow
example.
AGI,
Yeah.
and
Right.
and they want to dominate the field.
Right. Like an example could be that pharmacy starts using their money for their commercials to get you to do other things other than
Yeah.
actually take your own responsibility. Like
Happened
take a
already
pill,
now. There's a
like
new
take a pill
platform
to
that all
lose
the
weight.
doctors
Yeah.
use, and
Yeah.
it's totally sponsored by who
Yeah.
we know who that
Yeah.
is. But on the other hand, and that's actually what we've been focusing on, we need to decentralize. This is a big message from me because healthcare is so centralized. In the US, even more, I think in Europe a lot too, and even more. They pulling everything into a centralized system because then it's easier, they can cut costs, right? But that's not what we need, right? Because what we need is decentralized care.
Right. Can
And
I comment on
luckily,
that for a second? Just
yeah,
I think what you're getting at here is that they want to treat everyone the same. So they want to put you in a
absolutely.
group where you're all the same, but we are not the same. We think we are the same, but we are not. We're unique. So what you're saying is that we have to go more to treating the person uniquely, which is not centralized.
Absolutely. It's that
Just to
first, it's
clarify that.
personalized care,
Yeah,
but it's also in terms of healthcare professionals. And that's
yes.
a difficult thing to do because there's so many powers that don't want that, right? But in US actually, I'm not sure in Europe, but in US there's a big movement right now for um, direct primary care. A lot of physicians step outside of the insurance model. They say
Yeah,
they can't take it any longer, right? Because they're in a hospital and they have to do what they've been told.
yeah,
And so there's a big movement. And in the US, where healthcare, for example, you have to pay like 1,000 to 5,000 for health insurance. It kind of makes sense when you say, hey, I pay 100, 150, maybe 200 for myself or my family to have direct access to a local, decentralized uh, care professional
yeah.
that is trained in
Practitioner.
lifestyle
Yeah.
medicine. So I think
Oh,
that's where we go. And I hope a big message that I want to share for a lot of you guys out there that work as health coaches, start to think about how can you do that. We need to get away from the centralized care model. So, for example, in a city of 1,000 people living in a city, maybe we need two, three health coaches. You know, right? So that's the idea, and then and it's happening already. But the second thing, the same thing happens in AI. That's why I addressed it. The decentralization of AI is happening. There's going to be a crash at some point over the next, I don't know, a couple of years, a year, 1 or 2 years, whatever, that AI, they can't do what they do. They spend all this money and it's poof, and there's
and they're
some kind
trying to
of,
control it, is what's happening.
yeah,
They're trying to
exactly.
make it like that they program it with certain facts, that this is the fact. But I know what you mean. It's not going to be possible.
But see, that's what they do. And that's for everybody health related. Do
Yes,
not use all the, I'm not going to say which ones, but everybody knows, but don't use the big players in AI. I
yes,
mean, even for example, Google just came out with a health coach.
yeah.
But what the best question you guys can ask yourself, who developed it and what's their purpose? Why are they doing that? These big players, they sell you stuff. They take the data to train their models, which basically, if you type in your personal data, they all know who you are. They know exactly who you are. They use that data, right? It's like 100 times more than with the regular internet. And the other thing is they use the data, they train, and the problem also with these big AI systems like the open AIs and all that, right? They're big, they're huge. So when you ask
Yes,
specific questions,
yeah.
they often are wrong. I mean, I do this all the time. And another,
It's
you just
true.
test this. You type something in, which you say, is this really true? And you ask the AI, is this actually true? I don't believe this is true because I know it's not true. Is it? And it apologizes for you saying something wrong,
Yeah, I know.
right? And then with
Yes,
health, it's the same thing. So
yeah.
what we did, we developed our lifestyle medicine AI assistant platform for the last year and a half or something, right? And finally we are done where we can go public.
Crazy.
And that is a small, fine-tuned, it's by the way, it's lifestyle medicine and health coaching, just to be clear. But it's what we did is because our programmers they realized, we can fine-tune it, make it smaller, fine-tune it on evidence-based lifestyle and medicine, and that's it, right? There's no selling of data. It's private, it's HIPAA compliant, whatever the European version is, right?
Yeah,
It's we don't use data to sell because that is not our motivation. Our motivation is to have information that
that's
is
correct,
available
actually. Yes.
for healthcare professionals.
Yeah,
They know they can trust it,
yes.
right? We don't care if we're not going to sell it. That doesn't make sense anyway, right? And we offer a super low fee because I think that has to happen. We need to have the compartmentalized and decentralized AI platforms. And that's a big movement in Asia and other places, the open source kind of thing. So you can develop it yourself and with your own purpose in mind.
Beautiful.
And another thing we did, so we have the professional version, which is AI assistants that help healthcare professionals, for example, remedies. One is just fine-tuned on remedies. on data that we know is evidence-based, and we have even the citations are there, right?
That's great.
And and then the second aspect is, and I hope I don't shock all the health coaches out there, but I believe for health coaching, AI is going to be amazing. And so let me maybe visualize this or share this. Right now, we mostly have premium health coaching. I hope you guys agree. If you're not, let me know. But which means the vast majority, I don't know, 80, 90% of humanity cannot afford health coaching. Let's be honest,
The
right?
way this system is set up right now, yes.
That's the way it's set up.
Yeah.
And most of them even don't know. They don't trust it because they haven't heard about it. They know enough about it, right? So that's like if you charge a 50, 100 or 200 or 300 or 500 per session or whatever that is, right? Or have a plan. That's all great. But the reality is most of the people that need that support, they don't have it. And or they don't know how to get it. So what you also did is develop a lifestyle medicine based health coach AI assistant, health coach AI health coach. That basically we provide for free. Now, I know most of you think, oh my God, I'm out of business. But think about it. What you offer is not, as a health coach, mainly information. And that is, I think, something needs to change too in health coaching.
Oh,
That we
definitely.
need to get away from providing information because it's much better for an AI platform to do
Yeah, and
that.
also we're in an literally a time of Aquarius, which is all an information age, which is not going to be our role. In our whole education system has to change
Yeah,
because we're not going to be memorizing things. It's not necessary. We're going to be
exactly.
developing new abilities that humans have, right? Which
And,
are
and, and
different.
yeah, and where that goes is experience,
Yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
Health coaching, I think, and lifestyle medicine needs to shift towards, I would say, 80% helping our patients to change and shift. We are the accountability managers. We are the ones they go to, oh, I didn't do it. And it's like, oh, read a book. No, that's not going to work. We did this for the last 20 years, right? That's why all the diet books, everybody would be in perfect health. Health.
Exactly.
Then most people need someone to guide them that they can quickly talk to. Now, the AI assistant, so for example, you or any health coach out there, if you provide your patients an AI assistant where they can quickly ask questions, they can learn about something, and then you focus on care.
Yeah, and behavioral
You
changes,
focus on
right?
premium
Yeah.
attention,
Yeah.
care, guidance,
Yeah.
and then your value goes up, right? So I think that's very important to look at the difference here
I mean,
because
Johannes, honestly, if
yeah,
you're going to
sure.
do it, this is coming, and it's not only coming for health coaches. My son's a doctor. This is already going to take over jobs of doctors.
Yeah.
Doctors, there'll be the same services, doctor assistants in AI. There'll be physical therapy. There'll be lawyer assistants.
Yeah.
This is going to be not just health
Everywhere.
coaching. This is every profession. So
But
let's
see what
take
you
it
just
back.
said? What you
Yeah.
just said is like, see, they are compartmentalized. They're like a specific industry develops something
Yes.
that works for them.
Yeah.
And I think this is as long as the level of quality of trust and vision is aligned, right? And let me just compare that. Like Google comes out with this new health coach. They have billions of dollars they can put into this, right? Like compared to us, like
Yes.
forget about it, right? There's no way you can compete. But what they're going to do is they use the data because it's not HIPAA compliant. They use all the physical, the the devices, your
Yes.
blood tests, your sleep patterns. They use all that for their purposes
Which is
to
interesting.
sell it.
Yeah, it's about
And
money.
people have to be very clear about that. I think we are naive. That they go wild on that.
And maybe,
It's not a good
Johannes,
thing. Hmm?
ethically, if we talk about ethics for a minute, maybe
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
future ethics is that that is not allowed anymore. So if you really look at the society you would love to have, and I'm talking philosophy, you talk about the dream you have for humanity. It's certainly not that they get
Yeah.
all bought into a system that there is an illusion and they don't get the truth and they're like you said, do you want the truth? We want the truth. We're in the age
Yeah.
of the truth now, whether
Yeah.
it's painful or not, and we have to face it. And so the fact that you're doing your work to try to bring out something that has quality, not just something that reaches millions for the purpose of money and power. And we're just going to say it because we are in the Aquarian age, which means
Yeah.
rebellion is coming. So, do you think that, I mean, I'm going to be honest, do you think the people are going to want to still have Google when they realize what's going on there? I don't think so. I think when the enlightenment is coming in the next, do you realize between now and 2044, this is the time of an
Yeah.
enlightenment hitting humanity. So it's going to
Well,
go
but
fast.
I'm a very hopeful person,
Yes.
but I also realize for that to happen, we all have to step back
Yes.
and are very clear. There are two perspectives, two mindsets. And I think the easiest question to ask yourself let's stick with AI. You can talk about healthcare, same model, healthcare or AI. Is whoever is doing this, am I as a person and as a patient client number one?
Yeah, that's
Not.
true. No, we're not.
That's the easiest question everybody can
Yes,
ask.
exactly. I love that because that sells the truth right there.
Yeah, that's easy,
Yeah,
right? And if I'm not number one, I'm gonna be sold to, I'm gonna be used in some
yeah.
way, right?
So I'm going
And
to
then all
go where
that
I can be
propaganda
number
around
one.
it, forget about
Right.
it.
I'm going to
Forget
go
about
where
it.
I can be number one.
Yeah. In healthcare, same thing. I mean, everybody ask yourself, if you go to a doctor, and I love doctors, let me just be very clear
Of
about this,
course.
because I meet so many wonderful doctors, and they're beyond frustrated, like we guys are as patients or in health coaching. They're equally frustrated, but they're caught in a system, right?
Yeah,
And we need to shift that system. And we need millions of us to do that together. But ask yourself, is like, am I in that healthcare professional's mindset, the number one, or in that system that I am? Is a priority. That's what we talk about personalized care, where the patient is number one, needs to make the decisions. And that's why I asked before, you know, ask everybody, ask your doctor, your healthcare professionals, do you offer preventive slash lifestyle medicine type of care? If not,
exactly. And root cause, like
yeah,
let's be honest, in the old days, Johannes, we're talking about like medicine where it began. Doctors were healers. They were shamans.
yeah,
We have gone so far from healing because we actually, no doctor promises healing. They're detached from the idea of healing.
yeah,
I mean, maybe if you're, like you said, an emergency, they're going to heal you because otherwise you would die. But what we do is we manage chronic disease.
yeah,
That's what we do in most of our medicine. So
yeah,
that is not
absolutely.
healing. So that has to be understood by the general public. Do you agree? That right there.
Right. And that is the challenge with AI. One of the challenges, right? That the manipulation is going to continue. I mean, for example, I give another example. I know like Ozempic, and
Yeah.
I know so many people don't want to talk about it, which drives me nuts. I mean, there are so many studies that Ozempic and these what's it called SR drugs that are coming
Yeah.
out with different names, you know, oh, you
GLP-1,
see all
GLP-1.
the celebrities suddenly have 20 kilos less within a couple of days or whatever, or 2 hours, but not that long, a couple of weeks
Yeah,
maybe.
like
But right
fast.
there, they lose so much weight. So it's a miracle drug and all that. But the side effects that happen are tremendous, tremendous. And there's tons of science out there. We know that. But it's marketed as this big miracle thing, right? And so I think we need to just be very clear and speak the truth. This is that for some people, short term, okay, it helps them maybe to drop. But if you don't add the lifestyle and medicine part, then you get rid of, you don't take the medicine anymore, you gain the weight back, and you have a tremendous amount of digestive issues and many others, right?
And
So,
you really get like you lose the good fats. So you
yeah,
don't even we don't
totally.
even understand the effect of losing the good fat in generations to come. What would
Yeah.
that mean? Because we are made of this good fat that is
Yeah,
good for
exactly.
us
And
on every
it's
cell.
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at some of the pictures of celebrities, so-called celebrities, actors that you see these days. It's like, oh my, what happened? Like within a few months, and it's sad, right? So we all have to become more aware and be maybe a little bit less trusting, and look behind what you see on social media. Ideally, not even go there, right? But at least be conscious about it. Is this really true? Is this really something where I am supported in whatever is being said, or I'm being sold to something, right?
Yes.
That I think is the key element.
Well, also
And
we
once we do
want,
that, we can
right.
make changes, obviously.
Right. We want quick solutions because we don't have the patience to understand, like when you go to wait, that it went on over 20 years and it's a lot of emotions and a lot of other factors causing and stress, like you said, number one thing. And so we look for a quick, like week solution or a month solution to lose it all. It's actually ridiculous. It doesn't work like that. So if you do a quick solution with anything, there are always side effects because the body can't handle it. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you gained this weight in years and now you're going to lose it all in a month. What? That's a lot of toxins you're also losing.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to your body when a flood of toxins enters your body? Well, guess what's going to happen? Long-term cellular damage. Do they tell you about that? No.
No,
So we have a
not
lot that
kidding.
we are, you're right, like we need to have the AI that people know they can trust for the right information because they're going to quickly learn that the big forums they cannot trust. So I love that you said that. And I love that you're developing it, Johannes, because truthfully, this is so like exciting in my opinion that you can see this vision already. And when you're saying it, I'm like, yes, this is correct. I usually get the download, but it is absolutely good what you're doing. And I do believe we can't get rid of AI. We got to work with it. We have to understand it and we have to control
Yeah.
it. And just like we have
It's
to,
amazing.
yeah,
If it's used, if we are trained, and same with the kids, right? I think another example, like in school here with my daughter,
yeah,
they just integrate, or everybody's using it, but they don't teach kids or us as adults how do we actually, in a smart way, use AI. And actually, like in about 3, 4 hours, I have a degree meeting with our degree students, right,
yeah,
masters and PhD students, and part of that class is an 1 hour class is about how to actually ask questions academically, but also with AI to actually use the potential of AI in a way that strengthens us.
yes,
That actually we use it like, we have a conversation, but it's not what the feedback, what I get, is determined basically by the question I ask. And it's the same with health coaching, very similar concept, right? In health coaching, you can ask a question that doesn't do much, but you can ask a question that helps the patient. Oh, wow, I just learned something. I realized something. That is how we need to use AI, and not just as a lazy, do this for me, you do that for me, right? That's just not a
yeah.
good way to use it.
And I also think one is the logical mind, like really just factual and information, and the other is about consciousness in the heart. And actually, I'm not going to say that AI will never have that because I don't know that. But I do know that right now it doesn't have that. So the energy or the frequency is different.
Yeah, and there's so much nonsense going on with all the marketing nonsense in AI. It's like, come on, AI is, ask my programmer. He's really good. Luckily,
Yeah.
it was great. And he always smiles, right? You know, it's code.
Yeah.
People out there, it's just code.
Yeah.
Somebody programmed this. Now it becomes more sophisticated, but that's what it is. And so, but let me give it a comparison, I think, which makes it clear.
Yeah.
Like our AI, lifestyle medicine AI for general public, which actually our students can use for their patients. We're going to launch that soon, right? They can just say, hey, this is free. You can use it for yourself. How we program that, right? Have to program it is not to tell you what to do, for example. Actually, we use a typical health coaching mindset. and skills. So, for example, you go in and we call it actually Dr. Healthy Wealthy AI
Yeah.
because health is wealth, right? To make that point very clear. And he, she, it helping you to learn to ask questions, maybe just to listen, which is okay to start, right? But it's done in a way that the goal is not to tell you what to do or to sell you something. It's just asking questions in a way that make you, like for example, have you done lately, like for example, it's like I have no energy. Well, how about exercise? Seems good, I say as a patient. And then are there any exercises that you've done before that you liked but didn't continue, right? Like this typical question, I have to think about it as a user. Actually, yes, I did this before, right? And then the next question, right? So these questions are used in a way to raise awareness and with a very specific goal at the end to fine-tune a habit. We use micro habits a lot, small habits, and then to practice it. That's what the lifestyle prescription is about, right? Oh, you write your own lifestyle prescription. Or for example, my typical example is always I substitute sodas
Yeah.
with a warm or water with water, I substitute sodas, sugar water with water for the next 7 days, and that's it. That's what you practice. And even the AI coach is kind of trained to make it very simple, break it down, because the biggest challenge that doctors always tell me that use lifestyle medicine, well, people just don't do these lifestyle changes.
And
That's why they
because
need
they're
the
too
pills.
too broad in their behavioral, they're not addressing the behavioral issues. The program.
Exactly. It's too difficult. I mean,
No.
if I, even for myself, right, if somebody would tell me as a health coach, oh, so you changed my diet, I need to do this, exactly this diet. I need to go plant-based, for example, 100% or whatever the other way, right? Whatever it is. And then I need to change my sleep habit. I need to exercise
Also
twice a week.
overwhelming. Yes.
I'm spacing out already.
Yeah.
Right? So one of the campaigns actually we're starting this year also with our anniversaries, with our 10-year anniversary, is the lifestyle prescription challenge, meaning every healthcare professional, coaches, doctors, just write simple, easy lifestyle prescriptions for your patients. Or let me rephrase it, just help your patients with a short conversation. Define a micro habit they want to do and they write their lifestyle
Yeah,
prescription
it can be, it's
themselves.
much more strong when it comes from the client, right? It's
Yeah.
client driven is far more powerful. And then that alone will be a difference. Doctors won't be telling us what to do because we will have information all around us. So we won't need that anymore. And by the
Eh,
way, if you have a computer in the future that can diagnose instantly, you won't even need that anymore. So where we're going, and that was my next question with those advancements in medicine, which are going to come. There is no way to stop them now.
Yeah, yeah,
Frequency-based medicine
totally agree.
coming. So we are going to be diagnosing ourselves. We're going to be knowing things ourselves. It's just going to go very fast, this consciousness shift. What do you see? Like, how do you see that? I guess I sort of think you already answered it, but just maybe to clarify it one more time, how do you see AI working in the whole field of medicine, just to say it now, in a healthy way that can support us?
Uh, it's how do I say that? If we're lucky, if everything's moves in the way we want to, in terms of I think is 90% of people just want to have support from the doctor to
Yeah.
be healthier. But that's not where the business is, right? There's a reason why it's called healthcare business. So I think
You mean that
there,
they want the diseases out there
yeah.
so they
I
can
mean,
give
come on.
solutions. Yeah.
Everybody that
Yeah.
knows that. That's
But
what it is.
eventually
It's
that's
the
not
most
going to be
amazing
possible.
business model.
Yeah, I know. But that's not going to be possible at a certain point because the new technologies are there. And then if you have a new technology in one corner and you get better, that more people see, oh, I only have to pay this for the new technology, or I can go down that system, which is, well, I'm just going to be masking my symptoms. eventually people are going to be like, duh, oh, I know where I want to go. So
Yeah,
always the
I agree.
consumer will win.
But I think as I said, I've been in this field for so long now,
Yeah.
and there were many of these improvements that I thought would happen, and then they didn't to the degree I think we needed. That's why our mission is so clear: lifestyle medicine, health coaching for everyone, because that's what everybody needs.
Yeah.
It's very simple, right? But I think what's going to happen over the next 10 plus years, that we're going to split. The old system still,
Yeah,
they
I
hold
agree
on
with
to
you.
it for a long, long time. So
And they
that's going
won't
to
want
be
to
there.
give up. Yes, I
They don't want
understand.
to give up now. And then there's a new one coming.
Yeah.
And the more some governments are smart enough, and I'm going to go be in London in 2 weeks, and um, you know, hoping that like a country, a smaller, so-called smaller country. US is difficult, but UK or Netherlands, for example, if anybody's listening, guys, politicians, please be smart.
Yeah, be the leader.
Please be smart. Go in the
Yes.
direction that you strengthen the health of your population, and you cannot do that by for example, Ritalin or any other drug deficiency, right? We don't have a drug deficiency, right? We don't have that. We have like a lifestyle deficiency that people need to be educated, and the healthcare system needs to support them to become healthier, which then has so many positive side effects. I wrote an article a while ago, all like, I don't know in Holland or in UK, but in the US, it only needs about 100,000 health coaches that each of them handles 300 families or a certain area, right? That are paid well. Guess how much money that is in terms of the healthcare budget? I think healthcare budget is 5 trillion, right? It's only, I think, less than 1%. If governments invest less than 1% of
Yeah,
the healthcare costs right now in a health coaching, lifestyle medicine supported environment, we know that the savings in terms of cost is going to be 5 to 10%. So
yeah.
it's the best investment you can do as a government. And so that's what we need. I'm kind of, I think the groundswell is super important, but we need to put pressure on the governments that
Yeah.
are smart enough and not captured and do the right thing.
And also,
And well,
Johannes,
maybe just
go
finish
ahead.
up one thing
Sorry.
before I forget, but I think
Go
that's
ahead. Go
important for
ahead.
everybody listening. So I think at the end, it comes down to people's free will and conscious awareness.
Yes.
If you want to be priority, if you want a healthcare professional that you are the most important thing to get you healthy, to coach you, and so on, then it's your choice. Then you have to find that health coach, that lifestyle medicine practitioner, and not be dragged into the other direction. So it's about all of us having to make the decision. But I think right now it's like this: the traditional health coaching lifestyle medicine is still rather small, so it's going to grow, 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 grow. But at the end, it depends on each individual and families deciding, no, we're done with the old stuff. We go the new way, which is
Exactly.
preventive
Beautiful.
lifestyle medicine type of health coaching.
And I believe it's going to go a lot faster than we realize.
Yeah.
So we can say, Johannes, I can say I'm proud of you for being a leader in the field and being the and keeping these visions for humanity so that they know where they're going. Like I love how you said the two ways, and I do believe that that's going to be there for a while. And then at a certain point, let's just compare it to the horse and buggy. We're on a horse and buggy. It's 1903. We heard that there's this thing called the automobile in the next town. Well, it's very unknown, scary. It costs a lot of money. I don't know what's going to happen. I stick to my horse and buggy for another 10 years, and then slowly over those 10 years, everyone's getting the automobile. So I think it's going to be like that. So
Yeah.
by the year 2044, when we really are, we've had this huge, intensive new technology. Oh, it's going to be incredible what's going to happen the next, 20 years that we're just beginning now, that we're not going to know the world actually then. So I think
Yeah.
it's going to be so exciting. But thank you for being
Very
you.
exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah, thank you for being you and a leader and all the things that you do for people and all the health coaches you train and all the Yeah, and all the advanced technology, actually the advanced thinking, because as you are graduating more and more PhD students, they are pushing this whole, they are doing the research in this field that is so desperately needed. So, any last words for the audience today?
Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation and
You're
having
welcome.
this great conversation. And I think that's part of what I think want to inspire everyone to just step back for a second and you know, it's your choice. And often that's not an easy one, right? Because we have a lot of things we have to take care of in our lives and all that. And even for me, and I know for you, for most of us, it's always a choice like, oh my God, it's so easy to drift away again. But coming back to like make health your priority, healthy, wealthy, it's wealth. It's the most important things without being paranoid about it, right?
Yeah,
But just focus on practicing these little habits that gonna make such a difference. And like little things we improve, and then oh my God, now I changed this, improved, and you get this
yeah,
viral effect, so to speak, in our own life. So it's not so much anymore, I think, information is free, it's everywhere. Only thing with information is be very aware what the question you ask, because that determines what you get back, right? So be very conscious about how you engage with AI and information. And I think less is better because I haven't really met one patient client that wants to really understand health in its details. Like we as health coaches, we are a profession that trained right into
yeah.
this. What they want is get healthy. And the shift, less information, and I can help that if we need information, but focus on practicing what we know works, evidence-based lifestyle medicine. And health coaches are basically the ones that help with the implementation process. So,
Beautiful, Johannes.
you
Thank
guys, we
you
all can do
so
that.
much. Yeah, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.